Hey Kratos, I heard someone say they gonna beat your ass.
I don't care.
In front of the hugs.
In the spot and I came with the fellas. Ray Mac got hit in the back of his melon. And if I throw a bullet, I bet you catch my money.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, if there's one person you don't want to mess with, it's YN Kratos. Cause back in God of War 3, every single nigga standing in his path got packed up. It didn't matter if you were a boy, a girl, or whatever. Bro was handing out equal rights and lefts to everybody. I mean, this nigga was such a menace that he even put his own wife and daughter on a t-shirt. The only thing that I could think of that would be worse than being this man's son is being the son of Tom Brady. You gonna turn your back and turn around and see this nigga trying to rizz you up. Talking about some,
your little belongs to me. You're gonna learn to do what I fucking tell you to.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I would rather take my chances with Kratos. So this scene starts off with Kratos climbing up the back of Gaia, getting ready to pull up and run the ones with Poseidon. But that's when Poseidon's horse Hippocampy pulls up out of nowhere looking like an ice-type Pokemon. And if I'm being honest, somebody gotta call PETA on this nigga. Cause Kratos is really out here weaving all these attacks and giving this horse the hands. And this right here is when I knew this man Kratos was built different. Cause for all I know, if I or any other regular nigga try pulling up on Hippocampy, we get done like these.
Yeah, this is.
So then we see Kratos stab this nigga in the crab leg before using all that momentum to jump up in the air and stab his blade straight into this nigga's jaw, ripping that shit straight off his face. Had this nigga Kratos out here moving like a dentist, asking this man why his gums are bleeding while he's in his mouth like these. Bro really thought he was going in for a regular checkup and woke up like,
oh, you're awake. Well, your teeth are finished, and your gums should be here by the end of the week.
Where's my dick at? Where? Hey!
But I guess after all that, bro still wasn't done because he decides to run up and try to sneak attack this nigga Kratos but got handled with the quickness. I mean, bro didn't even last 10 seconds before Kratos got a button prompt to rip this nigga chest open. And then bro tries to hit him with the quick one too, but he must have forgot who he was fighting. Cause we see Kratos counter that shit, then jump up in the air and rip this nigga arm off. Then Kratos uses his blades of Olympus to rip open this nigga chest. Right before he starts to look around and spots this nigga arm laying on the sideline. Then he ran over to it, picked it up and shoved that shit straight through his body. And to add on to the disrespect, this nigga shoulder checks Hippocampy off the edge right after. And then Kratos takes his sweet ass time climbing back up the chest of Gaia. And if I'm being honest, I can't blame him. This bitch built like Elon Musk, straight thick as hell. And that's when Poseidon pulls up looking mad as shit trying to get his get back for Hippocampy. Bro must have thought he came in here with some aura, but in reality nigga pulled up looking like the Statue of Liberty on a lock journey.
I am not going to lie, you have to start over again.
So Poseidon pulls up talking about some,
Kratos, you will go no farther.
Man, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Nobody asked you that a bitch ass thing. You better shut the fuck up before I knock your fucking head off your shoulders, old ugly ass bitch.
Nah, bro really thought he cooked, but that shit just ended up making Kratos take a second to look to the left, the right, then back at bro like these. Bro, I heard that before Kratos pulled up to Olympus, this nigga was in Atlanta dealing with a whole different type of water boys. Compared to them, this nigga ain't shit. Then Gaia decides to snatch this nigga out the air and then pin him up against the wall looking like one of them weird couples in the hallway. And bro was putting straight belt to ass. Nigga, Kratos even used his blades of Olympus to snatch this nigga up by the dreads. And I know that must have hurt like shit. Same feeling you get when you try to pick out your fro in the morning. And then Kratos decides to slam this nigga head against the wall, giving him the same cranium shape as Tyler 1. And I don't know how this dude's finna explain this. Bro's finna be walking around like these for the rest of his life. And if that shit wasn't bad enough, Kratos proceeds to jump off of Gaia and slam his blade straight into Poseidon's chest. And to add on to it, bro follows that up by spamming attacks on this nigga until he's finally able to swing up in the air and hit this dude with the mean ass shoulder check, putting this nigga in critical condition and breaking the armor that was keeping Poseidon safe this whole time. So in a last ditch attempt to try to save himself from this situation, bro tries to focus on Gaia and uses his arms to palm her shit like a basketball. And I can't lie, that shit looked like it hurt. Bro really had her out here like, leave me alone! But he must have forgot that this bitch a baldy. Nigga was grasping onto straight scalp. Bro, I know the lights in Olympus on her head top like these right now.
Where the fuck is everyone?
Then God tries loading up a mean left hook, but Poseidon's able to spot that shit in time and palmer shit. And I guess bro must have learned from the first time, because instead of trying to grab Gaia by the baldy, this time he went straight for the face, causing Kratos to finally have to lock in and put an end to this nigga. So bro starts off by attaching his blades of Olympus to Poseidon's arm and swings across that shit with the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, before landing on the ground and smacking this nigga hand, causing him to lose his grip on Gaia, allowing her to finally tag in and hit this nigga with the jab so hard it launched Kratos straight through his body. And then Kratos follows that up by throwing this nigga into the side of this mountain, leaving him exposed for whatever Kratos is about to do to him. Bro, I knew it was raps when bro had the literal ruler of the seas behind him and decided to take a second to take in some fresh air. Had this man laying down looking up at Kratos talking about some
Please! Please! No!
Prepare for your death, Poseidon.
Then Kratos grabs up Poseidon and proceeds to violate this nigga, picking him up, slamming him against the wall, and then picking him back up again, just for this man to start hitting this nigga with some mean ass hooks, and then start bashing his head into the wall. Bro was beating his ass so bad, I just know Zeus was looking down from the top of Mount Olympus like these. And to make things even worse, Kratos decides to toss this nigga to the other side of the room. And Poseidon looks back to see the nigga who just violated him walking over to him looking menacing as shit. And bro tries to escape back into the sea, but Kratos is able to snatch this nigga up before he can get away. And then bro proceeds to pick him up, gouge this nigga eyes out, then hit his ass with a Mortal Kombat finisher. And if I'm being honest, this is where I started feeling bad for bro. Nigga took his chromosomes, hearing, and now his sight. Bro really started off by saying he the ruler of the seas, just to end up like Helen Keller. Bro, to be honest, I can't see how this could went any worse, and he just can't see. And to end things off, Kratos decides to pick up Poseidon's limp body and drop his ass off a cliff, which ends up creating a huge tsunami which floods the whole city of Greece. All I know is niggas in LA mad as shit right now. They over there watching this go down like, say something for me. So this scene starts off with Kratos pulling up on Hades in this dark ass room. I just know it smelled like straight ass and halitosis down there. And Hades somewhere in the background whining about all the bad things this nigga Kratos has done to him in the past.
Kratos, I will never forgive you for what you've done. You killed my niece, Athena, murdered my brother Poseidon, and don't think I've forgotten that it was you who butchered my beautiful queen. I will make you suffer as I have suffered.
Hey, shut the fuck up! Shut your ass up! Fuck you!
Bro, I was doing the whole spiel, bro. You can't just come in like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, enough of that sob story. We do not care. We all here for the hands and the hands only. Like, bro really uses a claw attached to a whip for a weapon. Nigga, as far as I see it, Kratos whipping his ass is reparations. Then we see Hades toss out his weapon and try to suck the soul out of this nigga Kratos. I mean, shit. You would think bro would at least try to get to know him first, but somehow Kratos is able to stop him before they both get ready to run the fade. And Kratos starts off by running up to Hades and hitting him with the mean ass uppercut that spun this nigga head around. Bro finna give his play-by-plays after the fight looking like these. Then Kratos starts stabbing away at his body and gives Hades the meanest purple nipple I've seen in my life, straight up separating this man's nipple from his body. And I kinda feel bad for this nigga, because he can never try flaming anybody ever again. They just gonna hit his ass with the
long titty, no nipple having ass bitch.
And bro gonna have to take the walk of shame. Kratos then leaps in the air and starts stabbing at the back of this man's head.
Make my shit straight, bitch ass nigga.
Shit got me wondering why this man has a whole ass helmet with the big opening on the back. Bruh, that's free eats. All I know is bro better call Juggernaut and hope that nigga don't gatekeep. Kratos then jumps off of Hades as bro starts charging up a mean ass attack. But luckily for Kratos, he's able to get out of the way. Then both him and Hades throw out their weapons, but that shit gets tangled up like some earbuds, allowing Hades to finally get some clean hits in on this nigga Kratos before these niggas start having a tug of war battle. Bro, all I know is if I were in the Squid Games, I want this nigga on my team ASAP. Bro's really out here hitting the Captain America pose on a nigga who makes Rod Wave look like the embodiment of perfect health. But Kratos is finally able to lock in and pull himself up before he decides to throw out his other blade, stabbing this nigga Hades in the face and immediately turning around and hooking that shit on the ceiling. I'm not gonna lie, I knew it was raps as soon as I saw bro up in the roof like these.
Come in and chill with me.
Kratos then decides to use his blades to bash this nigga head first into the roof over and over again. And with the amount of times this nigga went head first into that shit, I wouldn't be surprised if bro came out of this shit looking like a blobfish. Straight chop. And after thoroughly beating his ass, Kratos decides to let go and drop him into this hole, but not before snatching up the claws of Hades off his body. And I can't lie, for a nigga this big, I would've thought bro would've put up a better fight. Turns out nigga was more scared of his scale than Kratos. Bro really had Kratos out here thinking this shit sweet.
Too easy. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
just for bro to pop into the ground seconds later with no mask and spikes covering his whole body looking like Sonic the Crackhead. Anyways, Kratos is able to dodge all of Hades' attacks until he decides to throw an attack of his own, sticking this nigga in the head and slamming his face straight into the ground, not only once but twice. Bro, with the amount of head trauma this man sustained during this battle, I'd be surprised if bro didn't meet Poseidon in the afterlife and start talking to him like these. I can't lie, my nigga spitting facts. Then we see Kratos use Hades' own weapons against him as he starts to suck this nigga's soul out, finally putting an end to this man Hades. And all I know, the rest of these niggas at the top of Mount Olympus hearing this all go down like embarrassing. And to make things even worse, right after he kills Hades, it releases all the soul bro had trapped in his body over the centuries. And they just letting everybody out here. You telling me they couldn't have some type of screening for these niggas? Bruh, now who knows what's out there? Niggas in Greece gonna be waking up in the middle of the night like these.
No one can hurt us, my love.
It was just a booty call.
Having a bitch get took by Casper. I mean shit, that's still better than not having a bitch to begin with. So this scene starts off with Kratos trying to third party this fight between Helios and his Titan. And bro should have learned from that man Aaron that this shit don't ever go good for niggas. We see Kratos line up a shot and snipe this nigga straight out the air, causing Helios to have to do an emergency crash landing right onto the hand of this Titan. And bro like, oh, free eats.
Oh, say less.
Crushing this nigga Helios in the palm of his hand and tossing him across the map. And this is the first time I've seen Kratos actually scared of something. Bro was looking up at the Titan after that shit like,
God damn. Shit.
And I just know Kratos mad as shit now because he has to get some extra steps in just to beat this nigga ass. So Kratos heads over to find Helios. And on his way there, he takes care of these grunts by boxing them all to death. And I can't hold you, in this situation, being one of Helios' bodyguards is probably one of the worst things that can happen. Bro really turned around to all the niggas behind him and hit him with the,
"You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees."
Nah, bruh. If that were me, the second I saw this shiny dome ass nigga coming my way, I miraculously come down with the cold. Have to call in sick. Come into work the next day looking at bro like,
what happened, fool?
I'm fucked up.
So Kratos is finally able to find Helios and sees bro laid on the ground injured, looking like the dog off Family Guy. And to make things even worse, because he's injured, bro can't even run away. And then Kratos starts walking up to bro and he's looking scared as shit, talking about some,
Hey Kratos,
Where's my bread?
look bro, I know I owe you some money, but the way my bank account's set up right now, I got my check-ins and my savings and my savings and my...
Silence!
Look man, I'm sorry I don't got your bread right now, but if you need someone to talk to, I'm here for you.
I do not need therapy. My revenge is what I seek. My rage will guide me. My rage!
Bro, you are weird. You're weird, man.
and this right here is a prime example of why if you owe a nigga money, you should pay that shit back with the quickness. But instead of doing that, this nigga Helios decided to spend that shit on this lame ass drip. Like bro really thought he was stepping out in some drip, but instead bro out here looking like Lil Nas X, or worse, Steve. And I'm not gonna hold you, the thing that surprised me the most about this whole situation is when Helios saw his talk no jutsu wasn't working, his personality did a whole 180. Bro was out here like,
you son of a bitch. If I wasn't injured right now, I'd be on your ass.
You are nothing. You have no chance of beating me in a fight.
Who said anything about a fight? Who said anything about a fight, bro? I didn't say anything about a fight. And when did you turn African?
and right after that, Helios hits his man with the flashbang, shining the literal light of the sun straight into this nigga eyes. But y'all don't be fooled. In reality, this shit is dim as a common LED. But the pure fact alone that this shit reflecting off of Kratos' bald head amplified that shit tenfold. So Kratos decides to block his face and starts walking over to bro. And when he gets there, he starts using this nigga as a doormat, straight stomping this nigga head out. If you could look in bro's thoughts right now, all you see is these.
This is all I got.
We already saw what this man Kratos did to Poseidon, and all that nigga did was step on his Jordans. I'm not gonna lie, this nigga's cooked. So Kratos starts gripping up Helios' head before he summons up like 10% of his power to rip this nigga head clean off his shoulders, causing all these clouds to come out and block up the sun, leaving Greece in complete darkness. And I can't lie, this shit right here would piss me off. Had me having flashbacks of my teacher turning off the lights for movie night and niggas saying dumb shit like these. Where's GetEm? And just like that, Kratos is already 3 for 3. And up to this point, all these niggas have been free eats. So this scene starts off with Hermes sitting on this railing trying to aura farm. And I don't know who's finna tell bro, but this fit's not it. What type of nigga looks in his closet and pulls out a miniskirt to run the fade? And yeah, I know this nigga Kratos is also rocking the miniskirt, but a nigga like me is not gonna say nothing about that. I like my spleen where it's supposed to be, in my body. Nah, Kratos, that shit's tuck, gang. Then Hermes drops down and starts flaming Kratos while running away, talking about some, "You're too slow." Bro, why is it always the speedsters with the most confidence? Like, if I'm being honest, bro ain't even that fast for real. On me, this nigga getting bodied by Quicksilver, the Flash, and the nigga that packed my groceries. Anyways, Kratos catches up to bro and he hits him with the,
"You've been lucky in battle, Spartan, but your luck ends today."
Luck? Bro, go tell that shit to Helios and Poseidon. Luck got nothing to do with it. Hermes then leaps up in the air hitting this acrobatic ass move and follows that shit up by drop kicking this pillar off the side of Mount Olympus before running away from Kratos. And you telling me they couldn't put up some caution tape or something? For all we know, someone gonna be walking around the streets of Greece and get surprise attacked like these. Have that nigga out here tasting static. And when we cut back to Kratos, we see that he's finally able to catch up with Hermes. And bro starts off by jumping onto the roof, then running across this tightrope before he jumps up in the air and onto this chopped ass statue. Shit really giving D-Wade's monstrosity a run for its money. And Kratos, seeing that shit, decides to be extra and run over to this catapult, lining it up, then launching it in the air before he decides to use his blades of chaos to latch onto it right before he comes crashing in. And you expect me to believe that the fastest nigga in all of Mount Olympus couldn't see this shit coming? Bro really had this nigga Hermes hitting the Mufasa before the statue snaps in half and Hermes uses his last bit of energy and try to escape. But bro isn't even able to get far as he starts to succumb to his injuries. Or so we thought, cause Kratos tries to run down on Hermes and realizes that this man was capping about being hurt this whole time. Nigga really tried to jump in the air and hit this dude with the drop kick just for Kratos to grab him, reverse his shit, and then toss his ass straight to the ground. And then Kratos pulls out his bow and arrow and starts switch cheesing this nigga. Got bro crawling on the floor talking about some aim hacks. Bro, I swear after taking the L, niggas be using anything as an excuse. Then Kratos starts looking down at bro like these.
Let me get no shoulder, little bro.
Let me get them dollar, bro.
Real tight.
Let me get them.
And instead of just taking these off him, bro decides to pick this nigga up and throw him against the wall before taking out his blades and chopping Hermes' leg off. Then Hermes tries crawling away, but Kratos walks up to him and lifts him up in the air and then goes after his other leg. And the irony of all this is crazy. Bro was out here talking about some, "You're too slow." And now bro gonna be walking around like these for the rest of his life. And right after Hermes dies, he ends up releasing a swarm of locusts to fly out over the city. If I'm being honest, at this point, Kratos making Ohio look like a cakewalk compared to Greece. Shit's tragic. And to add on to the disrespect, right after bodying this nigga, Kratos decides to pop out rocking this nigga Drip. And bro really did this shit just to stun on niggas. Cause we all know that Kratos' big ass feet ain't gonna fit in this nigga's shoes. Bro really gonna be leaving the function like these. So after that, we switch scenes and we see Kratos getting ready to pull up on Hercules. But that's when he runs into Hera, the wife of Zeus, sipping on that cough syrup. And she immediately comes out flaming this nigga, saying shit like this man's scalp looks like a ball sack. Nah, nigga like me would not take that type of disrespect, especially from a bitch who out here looking like Yzma. She straight chopped. So Kratos tells her to come down and face him, but she hits him with the,
No, shut the fuck up. No, shut it up. Shut up. What the my pussy bum blood clot?
Before calling in her big back bodyguard Hercules to run the fade with this nigga. Bro's ass was so big that he had Mount Olympus trembling. Pulled up on Kratos and had bro looking up like these. And to add on to the disrespect, bro hits both of these niggas with a double jab right afterwards. And jumps down to finally run the fade with Kratos after talking all that shit. And these grunts is so sorry that after seeing that shit, they still decide to fight alongside this nigga. They out here like, it's part of the job. Nah nigga, a nigga like me would have to call human resources on his ass. So Hercules jumps down and him and Kratos get straight to boxing. Well, I mean, Kratos is boxing. Hercules out here with the same spatial awareness as Stevie Wonder, throwing punches from miles away. Nigga must be trying to hit this dude with Bluetooth or something. So Hercules tries to rush down on Kratos and hit him with the shoulder check just for him to get stopped in his tracks and hit with the mean ass backhand. Then Kratos picks this nigga up and starts carrying his ass to the corner before tossing his ass into the wall and stripping off his armor. Then Kratos proceeds to look at bro's gauntlets and hits him with the,
Give me that.
What?
Give me that.
Before running up behind bro and smacking him in the ass cheek. And then Kratos follows that shit up by stabbing his blade into Hercules' arm, punching this nigga so hard he loses both of his weapons. So Kratos decides to pick that shit up and start punching the shit out of this nigga like these. Had bro chasing him around the room like, give me him back! Give him back! Hercules then decides to lift up the map, sending Kratos flying and dangling off this cliff. But Kratos is able to summon up the strength to climb back up, then jumps in the air, crashing down onto Hercules and crushing him. Before he decides to punch this nigga so much the stage breaks and they both fall into the water. And this type of disrespect really needs to be studied. Bro really bodied his ass and left this nigga floating in the water like a turd. Now, I wanted to touch on these next few fades, but they were either too long or too short, so I'ma just give y'all the spark notes real quick. So Kratos pulls up on Kronos' big ass looking like a chopped titan. So he decides to fight his way up bro's body just for Kronos to get hungry and try to eat this nigga for a snack. And I know for a fact bro felt like a Popeye's biscuit going down. Then Kratos pops out and decides to snatch this nigga chain. Then jumps up in the air to stab this shit straight through this man's double chin, killing this nigga and causing him to hit moves like these before falling to the ground. And when Kratos pulled up on Hephaestus, it was even worse. Bro literally started off by giving this nigga some Freddy claws and then he tried to sneak this nigga right after. Like, how you finna craft the same weapon that bro's gonna take you out with 10 seconds later? You might as well go ahead and pack this shit up, gang. And if I'm being real, I don't even know if I could call what Kratos did the hero of fade. Bro spotted her on the ground crashing out after finding out Zeus cheated on her with Kratos' mom. Had her out here looking at this nigga in disgust before she hits him with a "Your mom's a hoe." Nah, bro, send her ass down to the G League with that nigga Brawny and Hephaestus. You know it's bad when bro didn't even have the respect to steal any of her drip afterwards. Nigga just walked in, started Chris Browning her ass, then dipped. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Kratos versus his father. Y'all niggas sick. Shit got me understanding how my mom used to be watching Murray like these growing up.
When it comes to 8-month-old Brian, Chiari, you are not...
So this scene starts off with Kratos and Pandora pulling up to the flame of Olympus. And Pandora turns around and tries to run towards it just for her to bump straight into this nigga Zeus. And Zeus, knowing that she's the only thing that Kratos actually cares about, decides to grab her by the neck and start floating around the room talking to this nigga crazy. Shit really got this man Kratos tweaking out, foaming from the mouth like... Get your fucking dog, bitch!
It don't bite.
Yes, it do! Then bro proceeds to lift her up over his head like he's doing shoulder presses, causing Kratos to have to yell at him to put her down.
Put her down.
Nah, yeah, I'ma do my own thing.
Dude really threw this bitch head first straight into the concrete. All I know is she's gonna be waking up looking like that nigga Sloth from the Goonies. And after seeing that disrespectful shit Zeus just did to his girl, Kratos decides to crash out, running over to Zeus and slashing him up in the air just for him to get that shit reversed and thrown into the wall. And now that both of these two are on this pillar, they get straight to boxing. So Kratos starts off by weaving his first attack, lands on the ground, and immediately starts slashing away at this nigga's body. Whole time I didn't even know this man Kratos was from the UK. Then Kratos grabs him up and they both end up hitting this double punch, launching them both back into these walls. But Kratos is able to get up first and starts rushing down on this nigga. Bro hit his ass with the spinning uppercut, latched onto him, and then hit his ass with another shoulder check. And then he followed all that up by throwing this nigga into the wall. Not once, but twice, causing the roof to come down crashing on bro. But Zeus ain't like these other sorry ass niggas, bro. I'm telling you, nigga popped out that shit immediately like,
is that all you got?
Gotcha, bitch. I'm not gonna lie, this nigga Kratos is making a whole new definition for getting son. Got this man Zeus thinking that he should have spent more quality time with this nigga growing up. Maybe gotten him a hair transplant in Turkey for Christmas or something. Nigga really beat his ass so hard the roof dropped down on him for a second time. Had this nigga out here leaking XP points and everything. Then the scene switches back to Pandora finally waking up from that long ass nap. And now that she can see that Zeus is trapped, she decides to use that as an opportunity to run over and try to jump into the flame. But Kratos is able to run over there just in time to grab her and she hits him with a
"Let go of me. Damn it, bitch, I said let go."
Then Zeus walks up and starts talking to bro like,
Kratos, don't stress yourself out. That's probably why you're bald.
Oh shit! And I'm not gonna hold you, only thing Kratos cares more about in this moment than Pandora is his bald ass cranium. Whole time up to this point in this game, he was trying to keep Pandora safe. But as soon as he heard this nigga dissing, he let her ass go and started charging at Zeus, tackling his ass to the ground and knocking this nigga lights out. So later on, Kratos wakes up with Pandora nowhere in sight, in this box in place of where she was last spotted. So Kratos walks over and opens Pandora's box, hoping to find a weapon that will finally grant him the power to kill Zeus. But bro opens that shit up and can't believe his eyes.
It's empty.
Nah, I can't believe this game really took us this far just to try to hit us with the lame ass the power was inside you this whole time ass moment. Man, shut your bitch ass up. Only thing inside this nigga Kratos is rage and Newports. You telling me we went through all this shit to not get anything? A knife? A sword? I mean shit. At this point, I'd even accept the switch. Have Kratos pulling up to these niggas on Mount Olympus like mega. And after seeing that shit's empty, Zeus starts laughing at Kratos in the background before he turns around to continue that fade, but bro teleports out of frame, causing Kratos to have to chase his ass outside. And when he's finally able to catch up with him, bro's fully ready to crash out by any means possible. And to be honest, I can't even blame him. At this point, he already lost everything. What's one more fade? So they start running the ones, and at first, everything's looking good for Kratos. He starts hitting Zeus with the blades of Olympus, pushing him back a few feet, but Zeus is not sorry like the rest of these niggas and starts fighting back, knocking Kratos on his ass and hitting him with the Uno reverse. But Kratos is finally able to muster up all the strength inside of him. Bro started off by kicking this nigga in the chest, blocked all of his attacks, and then straight up palms the blade of Olympus in his hands, before finally being able to push this man Zeus up against the wall, slashing him first, then stabbing his sword straight through his body. And to be honest, I don't know why Guy had to catch a stray. Tree niggas is down horrendous right now. And after all the dust settles, Kratos pulls his sword out of Zeus's body and starts walking away talking about some light work, just for Zeus's ghost to hear that shit and pop out his body like these.
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Hitting Kratos with the flashbang and gripping this nigga and squeezing the literal life out of his body. Kratos then wakes up in the afterlife and starts running around seeing all the worst moments in his life flash before his eyes, until bro's finally able to run into Pandora, who gives him the words of motivation he needs to revive himself and finish running his fade.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
And when Kratos finally wakes up, he's ready to end this nigga. I already knew it was OV the second bro decided to throw his blades to the side. And then he starts running down on Zeus, tackling him to the ground and punch this nigga so many times all this nigga can see is red. After this shit, there is not a single red blood cell in this man's body. If you looked in his veins, it would look like an Aiden Ross comment section. And with that, Kratos was finally able to complete his task and take out all the gods of Olympus. Anyways, more of the story, y'all.
I'm hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it. Let it take you away and be hopeful, hopeful, and you'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, though I'm hopeful.
Bye, have a beautiful time. I give you all of my love, huh? You do that shit all the way, huh? Why you always act brand new? Like, who is this hoe? Like, what is your name? Huh? I gotta change for you, nah, I cannot change for you, huh? Late night, I'm in the store, yeah, same here, think about you. You always had to be made for each other. You always had to be perfect together. I like your ass and I couldn't do better. You love my ass and I couldn't forget you.